Right then, lads and lasses, how we doing, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a fantastic day. In today's daily news video, we finally have some transfer news. I know there's been a little bit of a drought, a minimal drought on the channel with the transfer news, but we are finally back. My favourite sort of video, speculating on players, getting some news who could be coming to the club with all the fantastic players that we can now attract to Newcastle United. Starting off with a man who's just made his international debut for his homeland country, Riccardo Calafiori. Newcastle United have contacted his Italian club in Bologna, of course, in the top flight of Italian football, the Serie A, for the possible signing of the 22-year-old, and we've also got news that Borussia Dortmund's new manager, Nuri Sahin, an actual ex-player of Borussia Dortmund, has identified Jakob MINTEH as one of his first signings at the German club. And lastly, it's not some sort of transfer news that's given by a journalist, but given by a Newcastle United player himself. Anthony Gordon has made it clear publicly that he wants Mark Guehi to sign for Newcastle United. Without further ado, lads and lasses, stay tuned. We've got some very good, very exciting news in this video, by the way. Calafiori, I love this guy. You all know I love my Italians, just like Chiesa, and of course, just like Sandro Tonali. If you do enjoy the video, hit the thumbs up button, and of course, subscribe if you are new to the Jody Josh channel, and let me know down below, would you like to sign Calafiori, would you sell Jakob MINTEH, and would you like to sign Mark Guehi? Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, you may have noticed with normal YouTube channels, people kind of start off with the best news at the last so they can get you to watch the whole video. With me, lads and lasses, I'm just as much as a fan as all of you are watching. Let's speak about Riccardo Calafiori first, because I absolutely love this guy and I cannot contain my excitement. It's been reported by The Athletic that Newcastle United have been in contact with Bologna over the potential signing of 22-year-old Italian international Riccardo Calafiori. Now, of course, if you don't know Calafiori, for how he plays in Serie A, of course, for Bologna, who, by the way, that Bologna side got to the Champions League this season, absolutely mental. They finished 5th in the Serie A, some absolutely fantastic football being played from Thiago Motta, who I now believe is going to be the Juventus manager. We'll speak about Juventus in just a second, but of course, Calafiori was absolutely outstanding last season. The 22-year-old, for a centre-back, got 2 goals, 5 assists in that Bologna side. Now, Calafiori is a fantastic player, and he will undoubtedly have a fantastic future. I mean, look at this guy, by the way. The hair, the aura that he brings to the table. He looks like a Maldini, a Nesta regen, so to speak. The classic Italian centre-back. He's going to have a great future just because of how he looks. Undeniable. But of course, he's a left-footed centre-back. Now, versatility isn't a problem for Riccardo Calafiori. He can play left centre-back. He can play on the right. It's not predominantly where he plays. It's not where he sort of favours to play. He can also play left back and on the left of midfield though. But I've just got to say, when Sven Botman is back from that ACL injury, Sven Botman will be one of the first names on that team sheet, certainly in defence. Of course, we've just signed Lloyd Kelly on a free, who is a left-footed centre-back and of course can play left back. So are we really going to go for another left-footed centre-back? On the right is where we do need them. I don't think we are. We've got too much in that space. Of course, we'll have got your likes of your Lewis Hall, who can play centre-back. Not like he's going to, though. He will be, in my opinion, our first choice left back next season. Of course, you will be battling it out with Lloyd Kelly, but I don't think a left centre back is what we need. Unfortunately, Calafiori is such a good footballer, and I would love him to come here so much, but also he's heavily been linked with Juventus, where of course his manager at Bologna last season is going to manage Juventus. That looks like it's going to happen. I think this story is kind of a non-starter, although I'd absolutely adore it to happen. I don't think it will, lads and lasses. Let's not touch too much upon Riccardo Calafiori, but let's take a look at Jakob MINTEH. It's been reported by Sky Sports Germany that Borussia Dortmund and of course their new manager Nuri Sahin are considering our star loanee from last season. Jakob MINTEH is one of Nuri Sahin's first signings. Now, the 19-year-old winger has had many inquiries on the table, which is said by Sky Sports Germany, and Nuri Sahin knows the Gambian well. I don't know how he knows him well. I've kind of searched up who MINTEH has played for. Of course, Feyenoord, Newcastle, OB or Dens. He doesn't play for any teams that Sahin has, so I don't know how they know each other, but apparently it does. But we all know that there's reported interest from clubs in Italy, clubs in Germany, Liverpool and Everton Football Club. Lads, it's a very big sign. If Borussia Dortmund want to sign your youngster, it's a pretty big sign that he's going somewhere, isn't it? If Borussia Dortmund want to sign your man, it looks like he will develop to be a very good footballer. And I know Newcastle United have such a bad history of selling players, and they go on to do very, very well. Florian Thauvin went on to be a World Cup winner. Chancellor Mbemba still plays in Champions League football. Cabella had a very good career. And of course, Ivan Toney, probably the main one. But he hasn't had the best career, but of course, absolutely smashed it for Brentford. England international, ice cold at penalties. He's a very good striker, and I certainly would have him at the club now, behind Alexander Isak. But of course, you know, selling on these players and having that recurring cursed thing going on with us, Yankuba Minteh, it shows the exact quality and shows the exact sort of promise that he certainly will be one of them players. If you let him go, he's undeniably going to have a fantastic career. And I've just got to say, lads and lasses, although he will have a fantastic career and will be a fantastic footballer, if a bid, which has been reported around this price tag, by the way, for £40 million comes in, I've got to say, in our financial fair play situation, you've really got to consider it. No, of course, I do not want to sell Minteh. No way in hell. We've got such a talented lad on our hands, and we're signing for what? £7.5 million? It's peanuts, even in this financial fair play sort of restricted world. When you've got such a talented lad who bossed it for Feyenoord last season, we've at least got to see him in a black and white shirt just once. And I'm sceptical about pre-season. Anything can happen in pre-season, of course. Play him in the Premier League. If he can't hack it in the Premier League, his value will go down. So it's a very sticky situation. But with my sceptical look on this, I've got to say, I really do want to see Yankuba Minteh in a Newcastle United shirt before we're cashing on him. It would just be our luck that he'll turn into a world beater. Last but not least, lads and lasses, let's take a look at what Anthony Gordon has said for Mark Guehi coming to Newcastle United. As we know, they were teammates at the Under-21 European Championship, which of course they won without conceding a goal. Anthony Gordon got player of the tournament in that tournament, and of course Mark Guehi didn't concede a goal, along with a Newcastle United player, or who was a player who set to be a Newcastle United player, James Trafford. Now, this is what Anthony Gordon has said on Mark Guehi. I haven't seen any Newcastle United links, but it goes without saying, I would love to see him come. I think he's a top player, and he would make us a better team. I tell you what, lads and lasses, speaking of right-footed centre-backs, Mark Guehi, I would love him at Newcastle. He's been solid for Crystal Palace, but at the same time, he's going to cost a lot of money. Crystal Palace have got some very good players in that sort of age bracket. Michael Olise, Mark Guehi, Adam Wharton, Barry Eze, who is quite a bit older, and some people don't realise that, by the way. Eze is quite a bit older than them players, but still, absolutely fantastic player, isn't he? Crystal Palace really do have some really great youth on their hands, and Mark Guehi certainly is one of them players. Would I like to see him at Newcastle United? Certainly. I would kind of like the Ousmane Diamondes of the world over Mark Guehi, but look, he's English, which of course, unfortunately, and playing in the Premier League will cost a lot more money, but he's right-footed, he's been a rock at the back for Crystal Palace, and they would certainly not like to lose him. I would take him at Newcastle United every day of the week. But there we have it, lads and lasses. We are going to end the video there, so I hope you all did enjoy the video, and I'm just going to say, I am going to get videos out, don't worry, yet again. Friday and Saturday, it may be a bit hard with it being my birthday, but of course with the Euros, it's even harder to get out. People are watching the games, they're not going on YouTube, so I'm trying my best, lads and lasses. Please help us back, hit the thumbs up button, let's get it out to absolutely everyone, and of course, engage down in the comments down below. Would you like to sign Mark Guehi? Would you like to sign Riccardo Calafiori? What a player, by the way, I'm doing that for a reason. And of course, would you sell Yankuba Minteh to Borussia Dortmund? Very big sort of reasoning in our head that Borussia Dortmund want him, don't sell him. Without further ado, lads and lasses, I hope you've all enjoyed the video. I've been Geordie Josh. Go and enjoy your day, people.